Stupid. They run at like 3/8. Yeah.
So here's your rundown from Clone Medium Treaded qualifying. These are your 14 carts in the field through qualifying. The 53 of Carson Holman on the pole with 11.508. Camden Hart back in second. Tommy Balder rolling off in that third spot. Colin Eyes fourth. Jesse Riggins back in fifth. Sixth spot. Carson McDonald back in seventh. Brian Nuttall Jr. Eighth. Jackson Monroe. Starting ninth, Bree Preston Lefferts. Rolling off 10th, Doug Steerley. 11th, the 217 of A.J. Nichols. 12th, the 5B of Matthew Beeman. Back in 13th, the 12, Will Gooding. Is 14th and held on by the skin of his teeth. The 55 of Jeremy Rich with 11.717. Those are the 14 that go straight to the main. We'll not have to run a consi. Junior 1 tread used to be at the grid. Junior 1 tread used to be at the grid. Or making your way to the grid behind Super Heavy. Super Heavy on the track now. Super Heavy traded. Predator 355 traded. Be getting ready. Right now, provisional pole is Darren Coker in the 00 11.765. 11.765 for Coker. Cameron Pack back in that second spot. Russell Hughes, Josh Wolf. Top four, and you only four that have qualified so far. 11.765. Top time. We will take all 24 here in this class, so won't be no bumping or anything like that. All 24 will start the main. Austin Holt up to third, 11.852 out of this group. David Phillips up to fourth. Holt now up to the second spot. 11.810, 11.810 for the 11 of Austin Holt. So right now it's Coker, Holt, Pack, Phillips, Miller, Bishop, Hughes, Wolf. That is the 8 carts that have qualified so far here out of 24 in Super Heavy Treaded. Junior 1 traded, you're needed on the grid, or at the grid, I should say. Predator 355 traded, you're needed at the grid as well. Tony Sansom up to second with 11.784 in that 59 cart. Matt Lee up to 6. Blake Cannon up to 4th. Still provisional pole, that 00 Darren Coker, 11.765. Tony Sampson back in second. Austin Holt in third. Blake Cannon back in fourth. I remember Blake Cannon when I was flagging for the WK Georgia Dirt Series, running Junior 1, so now a Super Heavy driver. Eric Simpson up to 6. Joey Tony up to 7th spot. Brad Scruggs now up to 14th. 18 of Brad Scruggs, 11.828. Chris Williams up to 5th. Brad Scruggs now jumps up into the 2nd spot with 11.67. 767, sorry about that. About 2 thousandths off the pole. So he got close to Darren Coker. Coker with 11.765. Brad Scruggs with 11.767. Coker, Scruggs. That is your top 2 so far. Eric Riggins Jr. up to the 3rd spot, 11.771. And that 51. 11.771. New fast time. Going to go to the 51 of Eric Riggins Jr. 11.746. 11.746 for Riggins. Coker now back in 2nd. Scruggs, Sampson, Holt, and Williams, Cannon, Pack, Simpson, and McNure. That is your top 10 drivers here in Super Heavy. Looks like we're on the last group right now. Richard Johnson, Austin Phelps, Landon Simpson, and Coltrane Palmer. Richard Johnson, another one knows his way around here. Austin Phelps had a good run back at the Holiday Classic. Richard Johnson as well. See what they can do here as they come around to take time in Super Heavy Treaded. Johnson now up to 7th. 11.825. Coltrane Palmer up to 12th. Richard Johnson now takes it into the top 5. He's up into the 5th spot. 11.785 for Johnson. Austin Phelps is 16th. 11.978. So it looks like it's going to be Eric Riggins Jr. on the pole here in Super Heavy Treaded with 11.746. Coker, Scruggs, Sampson, Johnson. That's your top 5. Holt, Williams, Cannon, Pack, Simpson. That will be your top 10. Junior 1 tread. Junior 1 tread. You should be ready to go. You are next to qualify. Junior 1 tread. Predator 355. Predator 355 treaded. You should be at the grid area as well. Junior 3, be getting ready. Once again, we appreciate Daniel Cordova coming here. KartVision. Appreciate him covering all the live stream action today. And appreciate you folks watching at home on KartVision. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed the races here the next couple of days. We are almost halfway done with qualifying here in Cochran, Georgia at the Cochran Motor Speedway kart track for Christmas in Dixie. Day 1. Got a whole nother day to go tomorrow. Macy Lynn and Stefani put up in the top spot, 12.650. Ty Nuttall back in 2nd, 12.773 here in Junior 1 treaded. Once again, the Predator 355 treaded on the grid. Junior 3 treaded, be getting ready. Six karts here to take time in Junior 1 treaded. Maddox Cannon, Emma Johnson, and Levi Hilton on the speedway now. New fast time to 18 Levi Hilton with a 12.405. Mattis Cannon now to the top in that 57 cart, 12.333. Hilton now takes it back over, 12.108. So some swapping of the pole position there those last couple of laps. And it will be Levi Hilton on the pole with a 12.108, followed by Mattis Cannon, Macy Stefani, Ty Noto, and Emma Johnson. Predator 355 Treaded about to roll on the speedway. Junior 3 Tread. Junior 3 Tread, you should be at the grid behind Predator 355. Be getting ready. Junior 3 Treaded. Amateur 360. Amateur 360. Be getting ready as well. 16 carts scheduled to take time here in Predator 355. Make sure you go down and visit the concession stand also if you're passing by there. Get you something good to eat, drink. Being told the chicken fingers are pretty good, so check out the chicken fingers. But head on down to the concession stand, get you something to eat, drink. I guess they still have them. I know earlier they had some pork chop sandwiches and different things. So go down and see the ladies at the concession stand. They even had track owner Jamie McCoy down there a while ago cooking. Once again, 16 carts to take time here in Predator 355 Treaded. Junior 3 Treaded, you're needed at the grid. Junior 3 Treaded, you're needed at the grid. Amateur 360, be getting ready. Dylan Evans, fast time right now, 11.953. Good time for Dylan Evans in that 4E, 11.953. Jackson Evans back in second, 12.029. Daniel Long and Bennett Burton in the fourth spot. So about 12 more carts left here to qualify in Predator 355. Junior 3, you need to be ready to go. Junior 3 Treaded. Amateur 360 clone. Amateur 360 clone. Be getting ready as well. Gonna need a cart buggy over in turn 2. Cart buggy. Dylan Evans still fast time, 11.953. Justinville up in that second spot, 12.013. Colville back in third, 12.023. Landon Long, Jackson Evans, that's your top 5. Grimes, Daniel Long, Bennett Burton, Mason Dunn, and Tyson Lawrence. Your top 10 right now, Brittany Carter back in 11th with a 12.557. Caden Fortner in 12th, 13.139. Still 4 carts left to qualify here, looks like. Christopher Brown, Austin Knowles, Blake Judd, sorry about that. Jackson Monroe. And if you're looking for a go-kart to get into racing, looks like one's for sale. The one across the start-finish line. Christopher Brown, I believe that is, an 11. Has a for sale sign on the side of the go-kart. Go give him go pay him a visit. You might go home with a lovely parting gift. Dylan Evans, still top time, 11.953. Jackson Monroe, 11.965. Monroe, 965. Justinville, Colville, Landon Long, that's your top 5. Jackson Evans, Blake Judd, Noah Grimes, Elston Knowles, and Daniel Long, that's your top 10.
Looks like they're racing now.
Junior 3 treaded on the racetrack now. Amateur 360 clone. Amateur 360 clone, you are next. That class was just added today. Had about 9 drivers signed up, so a good field of amateur 360 clones. Treaded Phatt Daddy. Treaded Phatt Daddy drivers, be getting ready. You're coming up. Tipton LaPearl, fast time 11.849. That young man had a good run here a couple weeks ago as well. Bryson Jackson, also a good run, as well as his sister Brooklyn, also had a good run in the Junior 2 division. So Bryson Jackson back in second, 12.085. Here in Junior 3, Tipton LaPearl, fast time though, 11.849. That's what you call laying down a heater there. Brantley Burton back in the third spot. Kason Falk fourth. New fast time to 5 of Camden Harp. Harp with 11.714. 11.714. So just to give you a kind of comparison here, Junior 3, they run a blue plate or restrictor plate in these engines. Weigh 320 pounds. Camden and Harp right now, fast time 11.634. And he would have been pole in clone heavy by about a tenth. And would have qualified about 7th in medium. So these drivers are 12 to 15 years old. So Camden Hart, provisional pole, 11.634. Wyatt Wheeler, also fast time, 11.784. Connor Adams, Tipton LaPearl back to 4th. Mason Stefani, 5th. Joe Brett Sullivan back in the 6th spot. Bryson Jackson, Brantley Burton, Kason Falk, Kenley Mills back in 10th. And it looks like Henry Honeycutt has not taken the time yet. And it will be Camden Harp on the pole with a 11.634. Wheeler, Adams, LaPearl, and Stefani round out your top 5. Amateur 360 coming up to qualify. They are next. Amateur 360 about to roll on the track. Treaded Phatt Daddy. Treaded Phatt Daddy drivers. You need to make your way onto the grid area. Treaded Phatt Daddy drivers. I tell you, that group right there, practice times earlier, boy, were they tight. 11.7s all the way back through the field. And want to thank the biggest part of this event here this weekend. That's all you, the drivers, the families, and the pit crews, and everybody that's come out this weekend to Cochran Motor Speedway kart track for Christmas in Dixie. We're about halfway done with qualifying. Features will be coming up along with Concy's here later on this evening. Got a whole nother day of racing coming up tomorrow. So hang on to those armbands. If you came in today, hang on to those armbands so you can come back tomorrow and catch some more action here on the final day of Christmas in Dixie. Also want to thank track owner Jamie McCoy for having us here this weekend. And also back a couple weeks ago for the Holiday Classic. So a couple big races here at Cochran in the month of December, and we certainly appreciate Jamie for what he has done to the facility and inviting us here. Let's, like I said earlier, we had an issue with the bathrooms. He had it in great shape when we got here, all clean and nice. So let's leave it that way when we leave here tomorrow. I also appreciate Brian Hester. He really pumped up this race and all the races here at Cochran on his Facebook page throughout the week through live videos and different things. All that stuff matters. More eyes see it, or more people you get out to watch it. So thank you to everybody that's played a part in this. Also know M7 Motorsports played a huge part in this weekend. Alexander Motorsports, Eleanor Racing Chassis, several other sponsors. I'll try to get a rundown of those. Jaden Cordell, fast time right now in the 317, 11.642. 11.642 here in Amateur 360 Clone. Robbie Mills back in second. Josh Perkey in third. Aaron Groenboom on the Speedway now. It looks like Briggs Lee on the Speedway. Corey Jacobs in the 0 out there as well. Groenboom up to the 3rd spot. Briggs Lee up to 4th. Corey Jacobs up to the 3rd spot, 11.841. Jaden Cordell still fast time, 11.642. Robbie Mills back in second, 11.798. Corey Jacobs, 11.841. Aaron Groenboom back in 4th. Briggs Lee in 5th. Josh Perkey back in the 6th spot. Still looks like we got 3 more to qualify. Ty Ellis, Kayla Norris, and looks like Tristan Carnes still left to qualify. Treaded Phatt Daddy used to be on the grid. Treaded Phatt Daddy used to be on the grid for qualifying. Winner of that race this evening is going to take home one of the coolest trophies in karting. And it's going to be Tristan Carnes on the pole here in Amateur 360, 11.635. Jaden Cordell back in second. Carson Cox third. Ty Ellis. Robbie Mills, that's your top 5. Jacobs, Groenboom, Lee, and Norris, and Perkey round out your field. Up next, Phatt Daddy qualifying. 32 drivers scheduled to take time. Top 14 go straight to the main. And then we're running some consies here later this evening. And they're already rolling out on the Speedway. That's one thing about these treaded classes. You don't have to wait on them. These drivers are there when they're supposed to be. Most of the time, they're waiting on us sometimes. So we'll see who will get the pole here in the Treaded Phatt Daddy. Phatt Daddy Slick Race. Been around a long time. Always promoted by Mackie Flood. And this year, with Christmas and Dixie, brought in the Treaded Phatt Daddy. Tony Sampson Right now, fast time, 11.665. Brian Spence back in second. Mason Geary in third. Justin Heinley back in the fourth position. Ricky McLean up to the third position of 11.925. Dustin Miller up to fifth. Caden Dowling in the 98 up to third, 11.823 for Caden Dowling. Harley Zimmerman up to the fifth spot. That's a name I hadn't seen in a while. Came up towered earlier. It's great seeing Harley. Tony Sansom right now, fast time, 11.665. Brian Spence back in second. Caden Dowling, Ricky McLean, Harley Zimmerman. That is your top five. Gehrig, Miller, and Heinley. Round out the cars that have qualified so far. Once again, 14 will go straight to the A main out of qualifying, and then everybody else has to run consies to try to get into the field here this evening in the Treaded Phatt Daddy. Eric Riggins Jr. out there as well. That team's been fast all day. Eric and Jesse's been fast. And to the top he goes. Eric Riggins Jr. in the 51E. To the top, 11.625. Eric Simpson up to third. Simpson, another driver, picked up the win here a couple weeks ago at the Holiday Classic. 11.741 up to third. Eric Riggins Jr. provisional pole right now, 11.625. Sanson, Simpson, Spence, Dowling. That's your top five. McLean, Phelps, Zimmerman, sorry about that, Gehrig, and Miller. That's your top 10 drivers that are qualified so far. Justin Heinley back in the 11th position. A lot of good drivers here in the Treaded Phatt Daddy today. 32 once again signed up to take time. Richard Johnson up to third, 11.671. Matt Lee now jumps up into the 8th spot, 11.840 for Matt Lee. Matt Lee now jumps up into the 6th spot, 11.793. So on the bubble, right now it's Kart 49 on the bubble with a 12.072. That's back in that 14th position. Riggins Jr., Sampson, Johnson, Simpson, Spence. That's your top five. Lee, Dowling, McLean, Phillips, Zimmerman. That's your top 10. Williams, Graham Jr., Gehrig. That's your 13 drivers, and Kart 49 back in 14th position with a 12.072. Got to go better than a 072. Get in the field. Austin Holt up to 9th, 11.884. Cochran Palmer jumps up into the 6th position, 11.780. Cochran Palmer, big mover out of this group, 11.780. And it looks like that's where everybody's going to settle in. So on the bubble right now, the 29 of Chris Graham Jr., 12.002. That is your bubble time, I should say. Sorry about that. Kart 29, Chris Graham Jr., 12.002. That's your bubble time. On the pole still, provisional pole, Eric Riggins Jr., 11.625. Sanson, Johnson, Simpson, Spence. That's your top five, 6 through 10. You'll find Palmer, Lee, Dowling, McLean, Hope, 11 through 14. You're going to have Phillips, Zimmerman, Williams, and Graham Jr. Still quite a ways to go and some good drivers in that mix. A lot of good drivers in that mix. '44, Luke Bishop rolled on Speedway now. 39, Austin Phelps. Billy DeZama on the speedway as well. Josh Wolf taking time now. And Luke Bishop up to the 13th position. Austin Phelps up to 6. 11.766. So Austin Phelps went back, done some work in the pit area. Didn't qualify too good earlier in Super Heavy, but he is up to second now. How about that? Austin Phelps in the 39 up to second, 11.649. That's going to put David Phillips on the bubble with 11.935. So it's Riggins Jr., Phillips, Sampson, Johnson, Simpson. That's your top 5. 6 through 10, Spence, Palmer, DeZama, Lee, and Dowling. 11 through 14, McLean, Holt, Wolf, and Phillips. That is the 14 in the field right now. I'm sure that's probably going to change a little bit here as we round out qualifying for the Treaded Phatt Daddy. I believe we got one more group left to go. Mitchell McNur up to 6. Darren Coker now into the top 5. He's up into the 5th position, 11.683. 11.683 for Coker. Mitchell McNur up to 6, 11.736. Blake Cannon up to 9th, 11.768. So it's Eric Riggins Jr. right now. Provisional pole still, 11.625. Phelps, Sampson, Johnson, Coker, McNur, Simpson, Spence, Cannon, and Palmer. That's your top 10. 11 through 14. I will give to you in just a second. DeZama, Lee, Dowling, and Pack. So Cameron Pack on the bubble. 11.824. Final group on the speedway. Brad Scruggs in the 18 up into the 6th position. Joey Tony up to the 7th position. So Matt Lee on the bubble. That's going to bump Caden Dowling out the field. Braxton Barber back in 15th. So it's going to be Eric Riggins Jr. on the pole with 11.625. Austin Phelps back in 2nd. Tony Sampson, Richard Johnson, Darren Coker. That's your top 5. Brad Scruggs. Brad Scruggs back in the 6th position. Joey Honey back in 7th. And back in 8th, you'll find a 68 of Mitchell McNur. 9th, 17X Eric Simpson. 10th, 03 of Brian Spence. 11th, Blake Cannon. 12th, Billy DeZama. 13th, Coltrane Palmer. 14th, Matt Lee. So these are the 14 that are going to make it into the field through qualifying. Riggins Jr., Phelps, Sampson, Johnson, Coker, Scruggs, Tony, McNur, Simpson, Spence, Cannon, DeZama, Palmer, and Lee. Everyone else is going to have to go into a consi later this evening. We're going to go into about a 10-minute break here. And before we head into our slick divisions, once again, go down, visit the concession stand, get something to eat, drink. If you need some parts or whatever your needs are for the carts, go down and visit PB&J Performance. John Holland right next to the grid area. Also PEC, David Rowland. Go see David. He's over just behind the scales. Can't miss him. Both of them guys will hook you up with whatever parts you need.
All right, everybody. I hope y'all can hear me. My name's Chad Allen. I'm with the Outside Shriners, and we're here representing our Scat Cat unit. And if you don't know who that is, if you've ever been to any parade around Central Georgia and seen the little orange cars in the parade, that's us. We've been here selling 50-50 raffle tickets today, and right now it's time for the drawing. There'll be $150 going to the winner. All right, and the ticket number is 3822873. Again, that ticket number is 3822873. If that's your ticket, come up to the tower. I'll be at the bottom of the steps, and we'll get you paid, and y'all can move along with your racing action. We'd like to say thank everybody that took the time to stop and buy a ticket from us. Everyone knows the cause that we support. As a matter of fact, we just met a lady and a little girl coming up these steps that told us a story about how that little girl went to our Shriners Hospital up in Greenville, South Carolina. That is one of our main hospitals that we do support. So, again, thank y'all. Your money's going to an extremely good cause. And one more time, ticket number 3822873. Thank y'all.
And we certainly appreciate everything the Shriners do. They play a huge part in a lot of communities, not only locally but nationally through the Shriners Hospital. Make sure kids get treatment that they need. So we appreciate the Shriners coming out and doing what they do in all the communities, and appreciate these gentlemen coming out today here to join us. And if you see them walking through the pit area, just tell them thank you. They put in a lot of work to try to get the word out about the Shriners and what they do for the community. For you folks watching at home on KartVision, we appreciate you watching. Right now we're in a short break. We have just finished the treaded qualifying. We're fixing to go into the slick qualifying. Clone heavy slicks will be up first, followed by junior 2 slick. So right now, if you're watching at home, we are in the middle of a break. Just got done finished treaded qualifying, about to head into slick qualifying. Heavy slicks, you're needed to the grid. Clone heavy slicks, you're needed to the grid. Heavy slicks, let's put them on the grid. Clone heavy slicks, let's put them on grid. Junior 2 slicks need to be down there as well. Rookie red, be getting ready. Clone Heavy Slicks on Speedway now. Matthew Beeman, fast time 11.271. Top 14 will go to the A main. Everybody else will go to a consi to be run later this evening. 28 drivers scheduled to take time here. This is the slick start of the slick classes. Clone Heavy Slicks on the racetrack. Jesse Riggins now up to the top spot, 11.019. Holman, Beeman, and Ellis now your top 4 drivers. Caden Dowling, fast time 10.890. Tommy Balder now to the top 12 or 10.881. 119 to Tommy Balder, 10.881. 29 to Caden Dowling back in second. 34 Blake Lester back in third spot. 51 Jesse Riggins in fourth. 53 Carson Holman back in fifth. Tommy Balder still top time. Dowling back in second. Blake Lester, Carson McDonald, Jesse Riggins, Hallman, Cox, Milton, Trockey, Matthew Beeman. That's your top 10. So we'll begin the bumping process here. Lance Dawson up to ninth. Didn't even know he was here today. 274. Lance Dawson up to ninth, 11.136. Dylan Dove up to sixth. The 1D of Dylan Dove, 11.039. So the 5B of Matthew Beeman on the pole, or on the provisional, or sorry, on the bubble right now. Get it out in a minute. 11.271. Matthew Beeman on the bubble. How about that? Mike Milton on the bubble. 131 of Mike Milton, 11.224. Got to go better than 224 to get into the field. Tommy Balder Still top time. And I believe actually Colin Mulligan may be actually on the bubble. Just being told that the 29, Caden Dowling, was light at the scales. So that may bump somebody up into the field. We'll get official confirmation on that at the end of this qualifying run. But right now, it's Balder, Dowling, Lester, Steerley, Finch, 6 through 10, McDonald, Riggins, Dove, Cunningham, Holman. Then you got Cox, McCummers, Dawson, and Milton. That's your top 14 right now. Jason Scruggs in the 52 to the pole. 10.832 for Scruggs. Bumps Barter back to the second spot. Dowling, Lester, Steerley back to fifth. Finch, McDonald, Riggins, Dove, and Cunningham back to 10th. Holman, Cox, Hill, McCummers. That is your 14 drivers right now in the field. First cart out back in 15th, the 274, Lance Dawson. Looks like last group on the speedway to qualify. Colin Mize up to 14th, 11.100. So Mize on the bubble. Mize now up to 10th. Jamie Miles up to 13th. Yeah. So here are the 14 drivers that make it in through qualifying in Clone Heavy Slicks. Jason Scruggs will be on the pole with a 10.696. Then you'll find Tommy Balder, Blake Lester, Doug Steerley, Stephen Finch, Carson McDonald, Jesse Riggins, Dylan Dove, Colin Mize, Chad Cunningham, Carson Holman, Jamie Miles, Carson Cox, and Austin Hill. Those are the 14 that will go to the feature, straight to the feature out of qualifying. Everyone else will have to run the consies. And being told there will be one consi in that class. Junior 2, Slicks on the speedway now. Need Ricky Red, you should be at the grid. Ricky Red, you should be at the grid. Clone Medium, I know you Clone Heavy drivers just came off, but be getting ready. See, there's a little bit of a break there, but just be getting ready. For the ones that may have not been in medium also. Right now, provisional pole here in Junior 2 slicks. Macy Staton, 11.166 in the 4-cart. E.J. Rich back in second, 11.283. Gavin Gunner in third. Hayden Duncan up to fourth. New fast time, 0-1. Lane McPherson, 11.070. Goes to the top. Staton back in second. Rich, Duncan, and Rycroft. So how about that young man at 0-1, Lane McPherson, taking it 10.944 in Junior 2 slicks. Very good lap time. Kinsley Bunce on the speedway now. Brooklyn Jackson, as I mentioned earlier, had a good run last couple weeks ago. Connor Adams also on the speedway. Bunce now up to third. Kinsley Bunce up to third with 11.254. Connor Adams up to seventh. Brooklyn Jackson eighth. And we got one in the tires facing the wrong way down the back straightaway. Looks like we're going, white flag is out. Hunter, return worker over there, keeping him safe. And let's get another one piled in there as well. Make sure all the drivers are okay here. SME 0374, Georgia tag, SME 0374, white truck. Not sure it's the same white truck we've called all day, but white truck, SME 0374, needs to be moved immediately, please. And it looks like all drivers are going to be okay here. Give you the full field rundown. So it will be Lane McPherson on the pole here in Junior 2 slicks with a time of 10.944. Macy Staton to start back in second. Kinsley Bunce back in third. E.J. Rich back in fourth. Starting back in 5th is going to be Hayden Duncan. Starting 6th, Carter Rycroft. 7th, the 29 of Brooklyn Jackson. Starting 8th is 104 Connor Adams. Rolling off 9th, the 2 of Caden McDonald. Starting 10th, the 39 of Kinsley Smith. Starting 11th, the 007 of Gavin Gunner. And rolling off 12th, the 57 of Maddie Phillips. On the speedway now, Rookie Red Slicks. 11 of these little drivers today. That is phenomenal. Rick McPherson just crossing the line. That 100 cart. Sharp looking machine he got here this weekend. Zayden Cunningham and 03 just crossing the line, followed by the 8, Zayden Horn. So we got a couple Zaydens here today in rookie. Once again, 11 drivers scheduled to take time in Rookie Red Slicks. Rick McPherson right now, fast time 12.287, 12.287 for Rick McPherson. Zayden Cunningham back in second with a 12.786. Zayden Horn back in third with a 13.841. New fast time goes to the 86 of Sawyer Chavis, 12.083. 12.083 for Sawyer Chavis. Will not Rick McPherson back in that second spot. Zayden Cunningham third. Kyler King up to the 4th position. Cade McPherson back in 5th. And then Zayden Horn back in the 6th position. Looks like we got about 5 more to go here. Hudson Miller, Crescent Brassel, Waylon Smith, Briggs Alexander, and Jet Brassel. Briggs Alexander already up to the 5th position, 13.116. Sawyer Chavis, about 4/10 quicker than second place Rick McPherson. Briggs Alexander, again, back in the 5th position, 12.861, so improves the time just a little bit. Briggs Alexander now jumps up into the 2nd position, 12.126 for Alexander. Crescent Brussel now up to 6th, 12.814. And looks like we may have 2 more left to go. That's going to be Waylon Smith and Jet Brassel. So right now it's Sawyer Chavis, Briggs Alexander, Rick McPherson, Zayden Cunningham, and Kyler King. That's your top 5. 6 through 9, Crescent Brassel, Hudson Miller, Cade McPherson, and Zayden Horn. 67 of Jet Brassel rolling on the speedway now, and the 37 of Waylon Smith. This will complete the qualifying for Rookie Red Slicks. Clone Medium, you should be on the grid. Clone Medium, you should be on the grid. Junior Limited drivers, you should be at the grid as well. Junior Limited, start getting ready. But Clone Medium, you are needed at the grid.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be Sawyer Chavis on the pole here in Rookie Red Slicks, 11.877. Briggs Alexander starts second. Rhett McPherson third. Zayden Cunningham starts back and fourth. Kyler King fifth. Starting sixth, Crescent Brassel. Seventh, Hudson Miller. Rolling off eighth, Waylon Smith. Starting ninth, Caden McPherson. Rolling off 10th, Zayden Horn. And starting 11th, Jet Brassel. Once again, Clone Medium. You're needed at the grid. Clone Medium Slicks, you're needed at the grid. Also, while you're walking around today, make sure you head down to Ultimate Racing Helmets. Authorized dealer for Bell Racing Helmets. They're located right here, just outside the restrooms, beside the score tower. Go see Ultimate Racing Helmets. 30% off retail on remaining SA 2020 helmets. This weekend only, 10% off SA 2025 helmet orders. B2 Apex helmets, $200 each. Also, they provide 2-day business day shipping. 2 business day shipping, sorry about that, via UPS. Make sure you check them out on Facebook, Ultimate Racing Helmets. They do free measurements and fit consultation. They also have t-shirts, hoodies, shields, pivot kits, and breath deflectors. And Ultimate Racing Helmets is sponsoring the Junior 3 division today. So head on down, check out Ultimate Racing Helmets. Once again, facing the racetrack to the left side of the score tower. Can't miss them. They got a bunch of helmets set out there. Once again, authorized Bell Helmet Dealer. So go down and check them out. Ultimate Racing Helmets. Get 10% off if you go down and buy SA 2025 helmet this weekend. 10% off. And also 30% off retail on all remaining SA 2020 helmets. So again, go down and check out Ultimate Racing Helmets to the left side of the score tower. Also, I appreciate our parts dealers here today. PEC, David Rowland, parked over behind the scale area. Appreciate David coming up to Cochran. So if you're in that area, check out David Rowland. Also, right next to Ultimate Racing Helmets, you'll find PB&J Performance. John Holland, can't miss him. Red trailer right there next to the grid area, just behind the Max's trailer. Go down and visit John Holland, PB&J Performance. He will hook you up on some parts. Also, appreciate our photographers here this weekend. Cameron Photography's here. Double M Photography. Karting Keepsakes. All of them here this weekend. And all of them have a Facebook page. Check them out on Facebook, Cameron Photography. Also, Karting Keepsakes, and then the Double M Photography. And check out what kind of deals they got going on. All of them do a phenomenal job. I promise you, one's not any better than the other. They all do a great job. And, of course, appreciate KartVision. Daniel Cronova, appreciate what he does for karting and coming out live streaming the Christmas in Dixie this weekend for absolutely free on the KartVision website, or KartVision, Facebook page and YouTube. So appreciate Daniel and KartVision. Clone Medium Slicks. You got about a minute. Put them on the grid. Let's go, drivers. And once again, appreciate all your viewers at home watching KartVision. We are in a short pause, about to get ready to go again. We had just got done with Rookie Red qualifying and about to roll out with Clone Medium qualifying. We have a bunch of these drivers that was just in Clone Heavy, so I had to give them just a second. Got some track owners here today from other tracks. Of course, appreciate Mr. Danny and and Fran coming down from Southern Cartway all the way from North Carolina. Appreciate them coming down to pay us a visit. Been told Greg Burnett was here earlier with GB Motorsports over at Hurricane Creek Raceway. Also, Mr. Wade Murphy, Miss Renee, and the Murphy family are here from Crossroads Motorplex. And Mr. Wade is actually the Grand Marshal for the Phatt Daddy race coming up this evening. So appreciate all these track owners coming up for Christmas in Dixie. And Mr. Wade, this race was actually originated at Crossroads Motorplex. Clone medium. Let's go, drivers. Clone medium. Let's go. Let's put them on the grid. And talking about GB Motorsports up there at Hurricane Creek Raceway, or down there at Hurricane Creek Raceway in Alma, Georgia. The Velocio Southern Thunder Dirt Tour, presented by KartVision and the FHS, will be paying a visit there on February 7th. That'll be race number 1 of our series, so we appreciate it if you go check out our Facebook page, Velocio Southern Thunder Dirt Tour. And also go check out the Max's Kart Racing page. And all these tracks, they all got Facebook pages. Go check them out. Give them a like. Give them a follow. Clone medium slicks on the speedway now. Tommy Balder right now, fast time 12.780. Doug Steerley up to second, 12.895. Camden Harp, 10.907, 10.895, and Tommy Balder, 10.780. Doug Steerley, 10.895. Camden Hart, 10.907. Back and forth, Ashley Abernathy, 11.001. So some good lap times laid down here in group number 1. 29 drivers signed up here in Clone Medium Slicks. So I believe they are taking the top 14 once again and running one consi. Jason Scruggs jumps up into the second position at 10.822. As checker flag falls on this group. Jason Scruggs, that last lap, jumps up in the top spot, 10.724. Tommy Balder back in second, 10.780. Doug Steerley, Camden Harp, Ashley Abernathy, Preston Lefford, Ty Ellis, and Jonathan Mobley. That is your 8 drivers that have qualified so far. Once again, Clone Medium, make sure you're at the grid. Clone Medium Slicks, Junior Limited drivers, be getting ready, start making your way down Junior Limited. You're going to be up here in just a few moments. So top time still Jason Scruggs in that 52, 10.724. Tommy Balder back in second. Will Gwynn in third. Carson Holman. Doug Sturley back in fifth. 6 through 10. Cameron Hart, Colin Mize, Ashley Abernathy, Lance Dawson, and back in 10th, Lindsey Hughes. 11th, you'll find Preston Leffert. 12th, Michael Trockey. Ty Ellis back in 13th. And Jonathan Mobley in 14th. So that means we'll begin the bumping process here. 11.648 is your bubble time right now. And that is set by Jonathan Mobley. 14 have qualified. And we've got about 15 to go. Counting the ones on the track. Adam O'Neill, Ty Ellerby, Kason Gurr, and Austin Hill. Looks like on the speedway now take time. Ellerby now up to 13th. Kason Gurr to 9th. And how about Austin Hill up to 5th, up to 2nd. Sorry about that. Up to 2nd in the 15th cart with a 10.747. Austin Hill out of VP Racing Engines camp. Up to 2nd. Jason Scruggs, still provisional pole, 10.724. That's going to bump Tommy Balder back to 3rd. Gwynn back to 4th. Holman is going to round out your top 5. 6 through 10. You're going to find Sterling, Ellerby, Harp, Colin Mize, and Abernathy. Kason Gurr, Lance Dawson, Lindsey Hughes, and Preston Ledford is your 14 carts that are in the field right now. So the 5:31 of Preston Lefford is the provision, or is the bubble time. Sorry about it. Right now, 11.099. How about Lefford? 11.099. You got to go better than that to get into the field without having to run a consi. Still a lot of good carts to go, though. Carson McDonald up to 14th. Blake Lester, so far the big mover. He's up to 12th. 11.033. Blake Lester, 11.033. Lester now up to 9th. 10.958. So Lester able to get into the top 10. On the bubble now, Lindsey Hughes, 11.091. 11.091 for Lindsey Hughes. Matthew Beeman up to 8th. 10.906 for Beeman. So on the bubble now, Lance Dawson with 11.062. Dylan Dove up to 12th. Matthew Beeman now into the top 5, up to 5th with a 10.087. So your top 14 right now, Jason Scruggs, Austin Hill, Tommy Balder, Will Gwynn, Matthew Beeman, Carson Holman, Doug Steerley, Ty Ellerby, Camden Hart, Blake Lester, Colin Mize, Dylan Dove, Ashley Abernathy, and Kason Gurr. Kason Gurr is on the bubble, 11.004. Carson Holman, Doug Steerley, Ty Ellerby, Camden Hart, Blake Lester, Tyler McCummers, Dustin Snyder, and Colin Mize. Mize with a 10.994 back in 14th. Got to go better than that to get into the field with these last two to qualify. That is Jamie Miles and Stephen Finch. Neither one able to get into the top 14 that first time by. We'll see if they can do it this time. It looks like Stephen Finch coming around to complete his qualifying and not going to do it. So it will be Jason Scruggs in the 52 on the pole with a 10.724. In just a moment, I'll tell you the full field rundown of the 14 carts that are going to go straight to the main out of qualifying. So here are the 14 carts that will go straight to the main. Out of Clone Medium Slick qualifying, Jason Scruggs, Jesse Riggins, Austin Hill, Tommy Balder, Will Gwynn, Matthew Beeman, Carson Holman, Doug Steerley, Ty Ellerby, Camden Harp, Blake Lester, Dustin Snyder, Tyler McCummers, and the last one to get into the field, Colin Mize. Everyone else will have to run a constant. Cannon Todd, fast time right now in the 3:30, 10 point, was on the pole. Now Lane Scruggs on the pole in the 83 with a 10.499. Cannon Todd back in second with 10.0705. Lawson Bryant, 10.756. Henry Honeycutt with a 10.977. So it will be Lane Scruggs on the pole here in Junior Limited. His dad just set the pole in Clone Medium. So some good runs out of the Scruggs pit area. And got one parked over in the fence off of turn 2. Super Heavy Slicks on the speedway now, 31 to Matt Lee. Fast time so far, 10.967. Eric Simpson back in second, 11.032. Brad Scruggs in third. Justin Heinley. Donald Hickok's back in the 5th position. Braxton Barber, Mike Prater, and Bradley Bates. Rounds out the carts that have qualified so far. Looks like we got about 6 or 7 to go here. Darren Coker, Joey Tony, Brandon Vale, Colin Mulligan, Cameron Pack, Luke Bishop, Chris Turner. Still left to qualify. And Bradley Bates going to make sure he gets all his laps. He got it out of the fence, came back around, and completed all of his laps here in qualifying. So looks like we should have about 2 more groups of carts here in Super Heavy. And that will round that out. Junior 1 Slicks. Junior 1 Slicks, you're needed on the grid. Junior 1 Slicks, you should be at the grid. 35 and over. 35 and over, you should be at the grid as well. Junior 3 Slicks, Jimmy Knowles Stock up here and be getting ready. $18 carts scheduled to take time in that Jimmy Knowles Stock up here, and good field of carts here today in that. And I believe it pays like two grand to win or something like that. I can't remember. Always appreciate Mr. Tommy Avery with Jimmy Knowles Stock Appearance Series. But on the track now, we still have Super Heavy Slicks, Matt Lee. Still your fast time is 10.967. Eric Simpson back in second. Brad Scruggs, Justin Heinley now up to 4th. Chris Turner in 5th. Donald Hickok 6th. Darren Coker in 7th. Braxton Barber, Cameron Pack, and Luke Bishop. That's your top 10. Mike Prater, Bradley Bates. That rounds out your field. And right now, Brandon Vale is on the speedway. Looks like Joey Tony also on the speedway. So last 3 drivers to qualify on the track now. See if any of them has anything for that 31 of Matt Lee. Fast time 10.967. As the sun starts to set here at Cochran Motor Speedway. So you're going to see probably some little bit slower lap times than some of these later groups. So Matt Lee went out earlier in the qualifying run, I do believe, and he will be on the pole. Matt Lee, 10.967 will be your pole center here in Super Heavy Slicks. Junior 1 Slicks up next. Lane McPherson, Kinsley Smith, Maxwell Rogers, Maddox Cannon, and Kyler King scheduled to take time here in Junior 1 Slicks.
Grayson, where's River?
So here's your full field rundown for Super Heavy Slicks. Matt Lee once again on the pole, 10.967. Eric Simpson, Brad Scruggs, Justin Heinley, Chris Turner. That's your top 5, 6 through 10. It's going to be Donald Hickox, Joey Tony, Derek Coker, Braxton Barber, Colin Mulligan. Back in 11th through 15th, you're going to find Cameron Pack, Brandonville, Luke Bishop, Mike Prater, and Bradley Bates. That is your field for Super Heavy Slicks. On the qualifying now on the speedway is Junior 1 Slicks. Kinsley Smith right now, fast time 11.696. Kyler King back in second. Lane McPherson back in the 3rd spot with a 12.151. Last two drivers coming out to qualify, Maddox Cannon and Maxwell Rogers. 35 and over. 35 and over. You should be on the grid. Junior 3. Junior 3 Slicks. Sponsored by Ornament Racing Helmets. Junior 3 Slicks. Should be on the grid. Junior 3 Slicks. Sorry, be getting ready. And Kinsley Smith's going to be on the pole here, 11.696 in Junior 1 Slicks. Maddox Cannon, Kyler King, Lane McPherson, and Maxwell Rogers will round out your field. 35 and over Slicks about to roll on the speedway. Once again, the Junior 3 Slicks. Junior 3 Slicks, sponsored by Ornament Racing Helmets. You are needed on the grid. Jimmy Knowles Stock appearing. Final class to qualify, Jimmy Knowles Stock appearing. You are needed at the grid as well. Sponsored by Mr. Tommy Avery. Once again, Jimmy Knowles Stock appearing. It is the feature race today, besides the Treaded Phatt Daddy. For the Treaded classes, the Phatt Daddy will be the feature. For the Slicks, Jimmy Knowles Stock appearing. I believe the Stock appearing race paying, again, $2,000 to win. Once again, sponsored by Mr. Tommy Avery. And we decide we got 4 drivers here in 35 and over Slicks. 03 of Chad Cunningham, 41J of Jeremy Johnson, 101 Dustin Snyder, 131 of Mike Melton. That's your 4 drivers scheduled to take time here. Once again, Junior 3 Slicks. You should be at the grid. Jimmy Knowles Stock appear and make your way to the grid. 35 and over. You should be at the grid already. There's only 4 of you. Let's go, drivers. And on the pole here in 35 and over will be the 101 of Dustin Snyder, 11.069. Chad Cunningham second. Jeremy Johnson start back at third. Mike Melton back and forth. Junior 3 Slicks, sponsored by Ultimate Racing Helmets. You should be at the grid. Junior 3 Slicks, sponsored by Ultimate Racing Helmets. You should be at the grid. Jimmy Knowles Stock appearing. Jimmy Knowles Stock appearing. You should be at the grid as well, sponsored by Mr. Tommy Avery. Colton Jordan right now, fast time here in Junior 3, sponsored by Ultimate Racing Helmets. 11.137. Karina Dowling back in second, now back to third. New fast time, Foster Smithies. 10.929. Lane Scruggs up to second. 10.949. Colton Jordan back to third. Karina Dowling now fourth. Katie Miles fifth. Lane Scruggs to the top. 10.793. Lane Scruggs, your new professional pole center. Foster Smithies back in second. Colton Jordan now back to third. Karina Dowling fourth. Katie Miles, Tipton LaPearl. Karina Dowling also had some good runs here a couple weeks ago. Camden Hart in this class as well. Has some good runs here today already in qualifying. Macy Staton up to fourth. Camden Harp up to second. John Hensley up to fourth. So a lot of big movers here in this group. Staton now up to third. Connor Adams up to seventh. So a very fast group on the speedway. Steel provisional pole, Lane Scruggs, 10.793. Camden Hart back in second. Macy Staton. Foster Smithies. John Hensley, that's your top five. 6 through 10, Colton Jordan, Connor Adams, Karina Dowling, Katie Miles, and Tipton LaPearl. Still got about 5 more to go. Rolling on the speedway now, Bryson Jackson, Lawson Bryant, Joe Brett Sullivan, Cannon Todd, all on the speedway now. Lawson Bryant jumps up to the 6th spot from over there in the Illinois Racing Chassis Camp, up to 6. And it does look like it's going to be the 83, Elaine Scruggs on the pole, 10.793. Camden Hart, Macy Staton, Foster Smithies, John Hensley, that's your top 5. Lawson Bryant, Colton Jordan, Connor Adams, Karina Dowling, and Kaden Miles is your top 10. Tips on the Pearl, Bryson Jackson, Cannon Todd, Joe Brett Sullivan. Rounds out your field. One more class to qualify, and it looks like we got a 2:17. Looks like Joe Brett Sullivan still has a couple laps. So we'll see if he can improve his time. I believe he got in the fence over on the middle of the back straightaway. And looks like nothing changed, so the rundown I just gave you will be final. Final class to qualify, about to roll on Speedway. Jimmy Knowles Stock appearing. 18 drivers scheduled to take time, sponsored by Mr. Tommy Avery. Tommy Avery, sponsor here in Jimmy Knowles Stock appearing.
How fast you running? Practice.
Time right now in Jimmy Knowles Stock appearing the 51J of Jesse Riggins, 10.333. Doug Steerley back in second. Carson Holman, Cole Perkle, Brad Scruggs. That's your top five. Lester, Emerson, Streetman, Hood, and Rhodes. That is your top 10. Michael Trockey up to third. Coltrane Palmer up to second, 10.459 for Coltrane Palmer. Trockey, 10.499. Jesse Riggins still holding on to fast time, 10.333. Still to qualify, Kyler Gurr, Colin Mize, and Tommy Balder. Colin Mize up to fourth, 10.534. So Colin Mize into the top five. Tommy Balder up to seventh, 10.619. Kyler Gurr back in 17th. Tommy Balder now up to sixth, 10.553. And it will be Jesse Riggins on the pole here, 10.333. In Jimmy Knowles Stock appearing. Coltrane Palmer second, Michael Trockey, Colin Mize, Doug Steerley. That's your top five. 6 through 10, Tommy Balder, Carson Holman, Cole Perkle, Brad Scruggs. And Blake Lester, that's your 10th place driver, Blake Lester. Brad Emerson, Preston Streetman, Michael Hood, Dick Rhodes, Robert Kemp, Mason Ezenek, Kyler Gurr, and Camden Boston. Rounds out your field. Juice box. Go ahead and bring them up. Juice box. If we have any juice boxes, let's go ahead and start bringing them up. Folks, we're going to take a pause for the calls here. We got our little juice boxes out on the speedway. We're going to run those. And give our workers a break. And then we're going to come right back with the feature events here in just a few moments. Don't forget to go down and visit the concession stand, get you something to eat and drink. Also, check out our photographers. They should have photos probably posted next week. Double M Photography, Cameron Photography, and Karting Keepsakes. All of them phenomenal photographers. Make sure you check out their Facebook pages. Also, Ultimate Racing Helmets. Just down beside the score tower. Go down and check them out. Authorized Bell Helmet Dealer. 30% off retail on remaining SA 2020 helmets. This weekend only, you get 10% off SA 2025 helmet orders. Also, they got B2 Apex helmets, $200 each. 2 business days shipping via UPS. Also, check them out on Facebook, Ultimate Racing Helmets. They do free measurements and fit consultation. Also, they have T-shirts, hoodies, shields, pivot kits, and breath deflectors. And they are the sponsor here today of Junior 3. So go down and check out Ultimate Racing Helmets. And right beside Ultimate Racing Helmets, you'll find PB&J Performance. Go down and see John Holland at PB&J Performance, one of our parts vendors here today. And the other parts vendor, David Rowland with PEC, over there behind the scale area. Everybody go visit David Rowland as well. And once again, thank you to KartVision for streaming this event for free on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you to Daniel Cordova with KartVision for all he does for karting, him and FHS. And we appreciate everything they do for karting and all the free streaming that he does for everyone at home. And we appreciate you at home watching. And on the track now, juice boxes. Looks like I got 7 of them. And looks like we got some more joining in the field. We got a full field of juice boxes here today.
Come on.